I heard say, if you want to be a team elite, act like a team elite, dress like a team elite, speak like a team elite. And so I watched, my upline team elites. I watched Nathan Ricks. I watched Jeff Mack, not my upline, yet my sideline that I'm looking for, is my uncle in the business that I'm looking at. I'm looking at Gary, I'm looking at Eileen Williams, look at all these other leaders that I wanted to emulate. And something happened over the first 9 years of my business that I really wasn't aware of, although I'd heard of. And it's called the principle of reflection. Have you guys heard of this? Richard spoke about it, we look for these things that we see in other people and we want to make them ourselves, right? We want to make that part of us. And I found that I always see my reflection. Whether I want to look at it or not, it's always there. That everything around us is us. Now, it's really easy to accept sometimes that when we see with our children, those that have children, or your downline as our children, that you see someone duplicating something that you taught them or that you do, and you're really excited about it, right? Like you're sort of like, oh my gosh, look at little Johnny. Like, isn't he amazing, right? Little Johnny looks just like me. And then there's those times when we look at little Johnny and we're like, ooh. No, I don't want to look at that, right? Because when we like what we see in other people and we know that it's a part of us, we want to celebrate that. And the things that we see happening, that we see duplicated, that we know are a part of us, then we go, I don't want to look at it. You want to ignore it, don't we? Because it doesn't feel good. I believe that is our intuition communicating to us. That is an opportunity for us to acknowledge and be aware in that principle of reflection to make the adjustments that we can to be more effective. To also repeat the things that are most effective in our business and duplication. Over the course of 9 years, I found myself putting my upline, Nathan Ricks, on a pedestal because I saw these traits in him that I so admired. And I constantly found myself saying, I want to be more like that. I found it affecting my values and my goals that I started to live more like Nathan than myself. At the same respect, I saw people in my life that I found that I would look at and I would have some resentment and some judgment on them as I saw traits that I didn't like. And I would want to ignore those. Within the last year, I came to understand the principle of reflection a little differently, that if everything around us is us, and if I'm always seeing that reflection, that those traits that I admire and those traits that I have judgment on, those are my traits. That's what I see because it is in me. And owning those traits, owning them, will help you set up an internal dialogue within your mind that you hear yourself say, I am, I can, it's done, that leads to vision. When we accept that the things I see in Nathan Ricks, the only reason that I see them is because they are in me. And it's true for everyone in here. So we constantly get that, to know how we can be most effective in what we're duplicating. And I've seen major shifts in my life and others' lives at the moment that they accepted and they owned themselves and they begin to be authentic and true to themselves. Thank you for being my reflection. Woo!